love, family, peace, love. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. Today is April 23rd. It is a Tuesday and 12 in the morning. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. This morning for me, I just kind of woke up a little down. I really don't know why, but I just felt a little down. I don't know. Anyways, uh, with the help of God and the sunshine, I will endure this day. I'm still kind of recovering a little bit, but COVID, it kind of have after effects. So I'm kind of recovering from that. I don't know why my Wi-Fi seems so low. Okay, there it goes picking up. I was about to say now I pay too much for AT&T business for my Wi-Fi to be low. But anyways, good morning, good morning. So today I told you guys I was gonna try to come to you guys every day with some trying to stay on task. Tonight, God will, at 7 p.m., we will be going over a couple of Bible verses, and the topic is going to be on is it okay to have relations with uh, young children? And the reason we're going to do this topic, guys, is because you'll see if you come in tonight, there's a group of people on YouTube that did this topic of is it okay to have these relations with young children, and they try to twist the Bible and show that it is not a sin. So tonight, Reverend Thomas will be joining me, and we're going to be discussing this at 7 p.m. And I will post it. So hopefully, you guys will come in tonight at 7 and enter in this discussion with us, because I think that it is just a travesty and abomination for people to twist the word of God like that. My whole thing is, if you don't believe, then you don't believe. Leave it alone. Talk about what you do believe in. So I will, we will address this tonight. It's going to be exciting topic. It's probably a controversial topic. Things that common sense to most of us, that it is a sin and it's not right. It's even a law of the land that you can't do it. So of course, God's law would say no. Now, as I'm talking, if you hear Pluto barking, it's because my lawn man is coming. So I probably will have to yell at Pluto a couple of times because he thinks he's a pit bull. For anybody that doesn't know Pluto, you have to go to my Instagram. And Pluto has his own Instagram. And believe it or not, Pluto's Instagram is bigger than my Instagram. Okay. Pluto has a bigger Instagram than I do. Okay. Has a much bigger Instagram than I do. People love Pluto. But anyways, I'm gonna give you a quote for the day, and then we're gonna go into the topic this morning. I woke up and my Bible quote for the day popped in, and it said, "Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things." Galatians 3:2. So that was a good one for me today. Um, to set my mind on things that I need to be really focused on, and that's the things of God and what He would have for me to do. So it was a good one for the day. So you guys take that one, Galatians 3:2. All right. So to show you guys is something that maybe you have not seen. Put my mic down. Good. That you have not heard of or seen, and that is hidden cities. A lot of you may know my daughter graduated with a degree in archaeology, so we're deep in history and we're deep in artifacts and things of that nature. So we watch a lot of history channels and things. So what I'm gonna show you today, guys, is a video on hidden hidden cities to show you guys that there's so much in the world and there's so much happening. Sometimes we get caught in our own small circles, in our own small spaces, and we don't realize there's so much that's happening in the world and that has happened in the world, and there's so much to learn. You never stop learning. Anytime you think that uh, you are so smart and you know everything, you're deceiving yourself. Okay, we will never. Is this earth is vast. We haven't even discovered 70, I think, well, that's more, discovered 80% of our oceans on this earth. Okay, we haven't even discovered, that. So there's so much that we do not know. So I want to share these hidden cities with you guys, show you that our world is vast and our knowledge is limited. Continue to learn, continue to grow. So watch these hidden cities and watch what's going on. Then we'll make a few comments in the end. If don't like and subscribe button, and remember tonight to join me for the Bible conversation at 7 p.m. So I'm going to share. I hope all you guys are doing well today. Everything is going well for you guys. I hope that that your families are well and healthy. Okay, so this 5 to 5 is a YouTube channel that shares a lot of these type of topics. So when you get a chance, and subscribe to Top 5 if you like these kind of things. And there are a couple of more during the month that I will show to you guys. So if you like it, please go and subscribe to this channel. Here we go.
The natural curves of the cliffs. Despite the enchanting allure of Mesa, very little is known about the builders of these structures. Two distinct styles and sizes of kivas suggest the possibility of two distinct building periods guided by dates. The overall effect is pretty astonishing, especially for those accustomed to more open grid-structured cities. Occupied for only a century or so, these dwellings faced an uncertain fate, with theories pointing to a possible mega-drought, rendering life in the arid mesa lands unsustainable. Did not New Mexico and near Mesa Verde have ancestral connections to these cliff dwellings, with the early Puebloan peoples migrating south and continuing their building practices. Unfortunately, many of the remarkable abandoned structures fell victim to looting and vandalism. The Wetherill family, forward-thinking ranchers with positive relations with local Native Americans, played a critical role in preserving what remains today. President Teddy Roosevelt's efforts in 1906 aimed to protect the parklands, and photographer Ansel Adams documented the ruins in the 1940s, producing powerful black and white images that captured the essence of the towers. Number 13. Petra. If you love the adventures of old Indiana Jones, then you'll know all about this entry. Petra, constructed between 1550 and 1292 BCE as the capital city for the Nabateans, a cement by the modern Western world until 1812, and today it stands as one of the most astonishing wonders of the ancient world. Postcard images showcasing the treasury, the monastery, and the water channels in the Sikh only provide a glimpse of the...
Now I'm gonna stop this for a minute. Now Petra a lot of times they just show Petra, but if you go and research Petra, it is a whole city. And they only show like 32 or so of these structures. They don't show the whole city that has been carved out. So it's awesome, guys. So when you get a chance, look up Petra.
Wonders awaiting those who experience Petra in person. The approach, either on foot, horse, or carriage, takes nearly an hour, leading visitors through a landscape dominated by towering, convoluted rocks and featuring hundreds of monumental geological tombs extending for miles. Translating to shaft serves as the narrow gorge entrance to Petra. Now, before entering, scattered rock tombs with vivid sandstone cubicle forms and cliff faces sculpted smooth with bas-relief for a preview. As you traverse the Seek, a canyon as narrow, high, and as extravagant as the slot canyons in the American Southwest, ancient water channels carved along the cliff curve showcase brilliant hydrology for agriculture and water provision. Elements reveal themselves to a realistically sculpted man leading camels, just larger than life size. Upon reaching the treasury at the end of the Seek, the scale is overwhelming, with the pink, well-preserved structures towering above. Inside, the vast entrance forms a perfect cube of space inside the mountain, with a horizontal ceiling of 50 by 50 feet. The revelation of the treasury continues into Petra, unfolding into a necropolis of massive tombs crowding the widening canyon. The once living metropolitan area for over 30,000 people emerges, with grand tombs reaching up to the mountainsides, creating a teeming, almost overpopulated necropolis. Number 12, Cappadocia. Province of Turkey's central Anatolian region, Cappadocia stands as a landscape where entire cities have been intricately carved into the rock. The area, spanning numerous centuries, presents a surreal vista resembling an abandoned alien desert. Fields frozen in time mimic waves, while rocky spikes and spires emerge like a meringue set in stone. The rock formations defining the unique topography originated from volcanic eruptions, erosion, and the wind. Over 3 million years ago, volcanic ash covered the 15-mile land to a soft rock. Erosion and time sculpted this rock into breathtaking forms, complementing the area's compelling human history. The malleable rock allowed for the homes, kitchens, and multiple stories, carved into every hillside, spire, and boulder. Beyond the remarkable geological features, the rock holds a history of struggle and resistance. Dating back to the 3rd century, Christians sought refuge in the caves and tunnels to escape Roman persecution. In the 10th and 11th centuries, Byzantine Christian monks constructed hundreds of intricately painted churches as monasteries and training grounds for missionaries. The ingenious ancient architecture and the pliability of the landscape visible in the nearby subterranean cities of Derinkuyu and Kemakli. Derinkuyu, 11 stories deep with extensive tunnels connecting to other underground cities.
Now, did y'all hear that? It's 11 stories. Remember, back then, when they did these cities, they didn't have the machinery that we have today. Okay, so you have to wonder, how did they carve these cities in these mountains, underground, 11 stories down? I mean, it's a city. It's not a house. They're cities. And they're precise cities. Structure. So a lot of times when we think about ancient buildings and everything, we always think about Egypt, but we never think about other places and things that have been put in the world and through history. So this is one reason why I want to show this morning, to just show you that there's so much to learn. There's so much that we do not know. And we need to continue to learn. So let's continue.
Could accommodate thousands of people. Serving as a genuine underground city, it featured sleeping areas, bathrooms, prayer spaces, and even burial sites.
Ain't that something?
With eroded tops revealing narrow, empty graves.
Look at that.
To this day, Cappadocia holds approximately 200 discovered underground structures, interconnected all by tunnels.
Listen, 200
Number 11, Dishacheng. Born out of nuclear fears, Beijing's underground city, Dishacheng, unfolds a labyrinth of arched hospital-wide corridor teeming with debris, empty iron bed frames, rotting vegetables, and intrigued visitors. This subterranean realm composes a chamber spanning 33 square miles beneath Beijing, aptly nicknamed the Underground Great Wall due to its vastness and military purpose. Dug by hand by local citizens throughout the 1970s, the tunnel complex was designed as a shelter for protection during invasions, air raids, or nuclear attacks. More than 90 concealed entrances were strategically placed behind homes and businesses during its peak readiness. Beyond mere functionality, it harbored a world within its depths. Classrooms catered to children, and recreational amenities like movie theaters, barbershops, restaurants, and even a roller skating rink awaited potential refugees. Auxiliary tunnels stored essential supplies, including grain and weapons, while areas were designated for growing sunless crops like mushrooms, and wells were prepared for drilling. Though the massive bomb shelter never served its intended purpose, it remained shrouded in obscurity until 2000, when portions of the tunnel were opened for tourism. Currently closed for renovation since 2008, only a fraction of the complex is accessible for tours, while some areas have seen the emergence of businesses. The official tour traces a small circular stretch where murals depict locals volunteering to dig the tunnels alongside fading slogans such as "Dig deep, store grain, don't claim to be an emperor," and "For the people, prepare for war, prepare for famine." Dishaqiang, a honeycomb of communist paranoia, provides a unique glimpse into a bygone era of nuclear anxieties and preparedness, awaiting the day it reopens for visitors seeking refuge from the ordinary Beijing tourist spots. Number 10. The Tunnels of the Moose Jaws. The tunnels beneath Moose Passage to Fortune and the Chicago Connection. Set in 1907, Passage to Fortune narrates a fictionalized tale of early Chinese Canadian settlers compelled to Moose Jaw. While many visitors perceive the tour as historically accurate, there is no substantiated evidence supporting the notion that Chinese Canadians, and apart from minimal anecdotal testimonies, the tour incorporates historically accurate information about the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Now just think about it, guys. If they had all of this back then, can you imagine what we have now? Can you imagine the underground cities that we have now? Because we have them. Imagine that. I'm fast forwarding just a little bit. So let's keep going.
Threatened Tokyo's infrastructure. Historical records guided Tokyo up meters of rain per hour, but in recent years, heavy precipitation days signaled changing patterns.
Look how big
Estimates
that is.
suggest a potential 10% increase in rainfall in Japan over the 21st century, rising to 19% in the summer. While the
that reminds me of, do y'all remember in Lord of the Rings when they went to the dwarf city? Tall pillars and things in the mountain. That's what that reminds me of. So they're kind of talking. I'm gonna go past all that to the next structure. So that
Number 6, the Wumu Underwater Prison. If you can't do the time, then don't do the crime. This entry dives beneath the surface of that notion. In the small Estonian town of Rumu, a peculiar transformation has turned a once feared Soviet prison camp into an unexpected tourist attraction. Established in the 1940s, the stone edifice perched on the edge of a limestone quarry served as a grim labor prison where inmates once toiled under oppressive conditions. Little did they know that this site of suffering would eventually undergo a bizarre metamorphosis. Following Estonia's independence in 1991, the Soviet institutions, including the labor prison at Rumu, were abandoned. These seemingly impervious prison walls, once symbols of oppression, succumbed to the passage of time. With no one to manage the natural groundwater seeping into the abandoned quarry, a remarkable and swift transformation unfolded. The former quarry, once a site of forced labor, began to fill with water at an astonishing rate, creating an entirely new lake. The rapid inundation submerged mining machines and even some prison structures beneath the rising waters. Ruins of abandoned prison camp have become a unique and captivating destination. The submerged remnants, including parts of the prison structure, attracts divers and adventurous beachgoers. Number 5. Dell submerges as an underground marvel, a colossal 55 million square foot space redefining the concept of storage and business ops. The Missouri River, Subtropolis began as a mining venture in the 1940s. However, by 1960, its visionary owner potential, transforming it into the world's largest underground business complex. This subterranean city, trademarked West, boasts nearly 7 miles of well-lit paved roads.
If y'all knew about this, put a 1 in the chat. Know about this words, put a 1 in the messages, the comments. If you didn't know. If you did know about this, put a 2, because I had no idea.
Creating the seamless movement of semi-trucks through its tunnels. Carved into the Bethany Falls limestone mine, Subtropolis extends up to 160 feet beneath the surface. Its network is composed of 16-foot-high, 40-foot-wide tunnels separated by 25-foot square limestone pillars. Maintaining a consistent temperature between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, Subtropolis offers an ideal environment for a myriad of storage needs. The United States Postal Service and United States Environmental Protection Agency, the National Archives and Records Administration have all secured spaces within this expanse. From a USPS collection of millions of postal stamps to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Region 7 Training and Logistics Center, Subtropolis serves as a guardian of diverse treasures. On the surface...
Excuse me, y'all. It's Pluto. Pluto! No. I told y'all when he saw my lineman, he is going to go off. Pluto think he's a bulldog, guys. He is not. He's a little bitty Chihuahua Jack Terrier. That's enough, Pluto.
Hunt Midwest has extended its vision to create the Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun amusement park complex, showcasing the versatility of their endeavors. Subtropolis stands as a beacon of ingenuity, from mushroom farming to secure storage for entities like Corbis and the U.S. federal government. In this subterranean expanse, the caverns of Subtropolis echo with the hum of efficient industry, embodying the limitless potential beneath our feet. Number 4, the Burlington Bunker. Beneath the picturesque market town of Corsham in Wiltshire, England, lies a clandestine world shrouded in secrecy, a 35-acre subterranean marvel known as the Burlington Nuclear Bunker. Emerging from the depths of the Cold War era, this bomb-proof, radiation-proof, and poison gas-proof underground city was strategically nestled within the labyrinthine limestone caves beneath the town. Constructed in the late 1950s, Burlington was the
Now I'm going to stop right there because the rest of them is pretty much bunkers, and you can go and look at it. I want to show y'all something while I'm... But you can go and continue to look at the rest of that. But most of that is like bunkers and things that the military... But just to show you, there are so many different underground cities, guys. It's incredible, the things that are going on and the things that are happening in our world that we may not be aware of, that has happened and is happening, because they have underground cities now, states, and people don't even know it. So and more into that later on. But I want to show you guys the secret cave city revealed as well. It's an ancient underground city. This is by Dark 5 Ancient Mysteries. So I wanted to show you guys this. You can go to the channel and subscribe. And this is by Dark 5. We're going under fair use. Guys, we're going under fair use. Look at this.
A kilometer and rises up to 19 tiers. It once boasted over 6,000 apartments with 2,000 resident monks, a throne room, and a large church named the Church of the Dormition, adorned with exquisite frescoes. Legend says that the city was only accessible by a hidden tunnel, and that Queen Tamar occupied 366 of the apartments, frequently changing her primary residence, so that invaders would never know which one she was actually in.
Look at this.
The architects of Varzia demonstrated remarkable foresight and ingenuity. The city was equipped with an intricate irrigation system, channeling water from the mountain to the complex. The system supported not only the city's drinking needs, but also its agricultural terraces, which were crucial for food production.
So they had food production in this mountain city.
In 1283, a devastating earthquake struck, exposing the hidden city by shearing off the front of the mountain.
Oh, wow.
This calamity marked the beginning of Varzia's decline, as the protection offered by its camouflaged facade was lost. The finale of Varzia's decline commenced in the 16th century, following its capture by the Safavids in 1551, which led to significant casualties and the plunder of treasured icons and gospels. Subsequently, the Caucasus became a contested region between the Ottomans and Safavids, culminating...
Now think about it, guys. They had their city hidden in this mountain, so the enemy wouldn't find them. But this city was huge. You think about it. It had over 6,000 compartments. It had agriculture. They had pretty much running rivers through this city. Also, they kept their livestock as well inside this mountain city.
In Varzia's abandonment. Some monks eventually returned to the site, and a small monastic community persisted. The Soviet era would see further excavation and a partial restoration of the city. Today, a few monks reside here, continuing the spiritual legacy of this ancient city. Derinkuyu. In 1963, the town of Derinkuyu stumbled upon a secret door hidden behind a wall on his house. It led to an extensive network of tunnels to history until that moment. Carved 85 meters deep into the soft volcanic rock of the capital region, Derinkuyu is a massive feat of ancient architecture. Its underground settlement, thought to have been 18 stories deep, boasted wells, chapels, stables, and even schools, accommodating up to 20,000 people. The origins of Derinkuyu aren't fully explained. Theories suggest its construction dates back to the 7th to 8th centuries BC. It's widely believed that the Phrygians, an Indo-European people, initially carved out the city. Derinkuyu was later significantly expanded by early Christians in the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, using it as a sanctuary against Roman persecution, along with other refugees. Further expansion as a defensive measure against Muslim Arab forces during the Arab-Byzantine Wars and against Mongol invaders in the 14th century. Evidence supporting includes the numerous Christian chapels and symbols found throughout the complex. Some theories suggest an even earlier construction, with the Anatolian Hittites starting the structure in the 15th century BC to escape enemies. Other, less popular theories propose its construction around 40 years ago during the Younger Dryas event. And more outlandish ideas even attribute its origin to extraterrestrial activity. The city was ingeniously designed to be self-sufficient, and air shafts up to 55 meters deep provided ventilation, a crucial feature for sustaining life underground. The complexity of Derinkuyu is staggering. It includes a labyrinth of tunnels, narrow passageways, communal living areas, and individual rooms. Also notable were the city's security features. Each level could be closed off separately with large stone doors, each weighing up to 500 kilograms. These circular doors, which could only be wide, were designed to protect inhabitants from invaders. Water was and Derinkuyu had a sophisticated plumbing system, including wells that were inaccessible from the outside. Remarkably, the underground city had access to fresh flowing water through an extensive network of channels and water shafts, connecting it to an...
Do you see how detailed the city was laid out? I mean, think about it, guys. Back then, they didn't have all of the equipment we have. But look how detailed that this city is laid out and how well it functions at a mountain underground. So can you imagine if they had that back then, what's really still going on underneath our feet today that we don't think about all the other things that may be happening in our world and has happened in our world and how it affects us. But there are cities still underground. Why? We don't know because they don't talk about them and they don't show them. We do know the military has underground cities, in case of invasions and things. But there are civilians that have underground cities and bunkers as well. And they're all over the world. And the surprising thing is a lot of them in the countries connect.
A nearby river. The city would serve as a refuge during various other military conflicts, including the Ottoman conquest, before finally being abandoned when the Cappadocian Greeks left Derinkuyu following the Greco-Turkish Wars of 1923. They took with them all knowledge of the city until its eventual rediscovery. Longyu Caves. Discovered by chance in 1992, the Longyu Caves represent one of the most mystifying architectural feats of the ancient world. Spaces defy conventional understanding of ancient Chinese engineering and purpose.
Look at that.
The Longyu Caves, a series of at least 24 hand-carved caverns, were uncovered in Longyu County by a local villager who stumbled upon them during an attempt to pump water from a pond. The scale of these caves, spanning over 30,000 square meters, largest cave
Wow.
encompassing about 12,000 cubic meters. Over 1 million cubic meters of rock were removed in their construction, a feat that would be daunting even with modern technology. This colossal task, if performed by 1,000 people working relentlessly day and night, would have taken around 6. The depths, devoid of natural light, raise questions about how ancient builders worked in pitch-black conditions. Professor Jia Gong from Tongji University speculates on the use of lamps, but no artifacts supporting this theory have been discovered. Each cave is an expansive space, with high ceilings supported by columns and rooms connected by passageways. The wall ceilings are remarkably smooth due to parallel. They appear as if shaped by precise machinery, showcasing a level of craftsmanship that questions the technological capabilities of the era. One of the aspects of the Longyou historical record or evidence of the people who built them. The precision and scale of the work suggest a highly organized and skilled society, yet no tools, debris, or inscriptions that could identify the architects have
Look
been
at
found.
that. That is beautiful.
Theories about their purpose range from quarrying to serving as tombs or places for spiritual ceremonies, yet each hypothesis lacks confidence. What is known is that the caves exhibit external acoustic qualities. Their design allows sound to carry and resonate, suggesting they may have been used for gatherings or ceremonies where sound played a
Look
significant
how
role.
large that is. Wow.
Hypogeum of Halsaflini. This is the Hypogeum of Halsaflini, a prehistoric masterpiece carved into the limestone on the island of Malta more than 5,000 years ago. The Hypogeum is an extraordinary underground labyrinth that predates the Egyptian pyramids.
Wow.
Discovered accidentally in 1902, this complex of interlinked chambers, echoing halls, and intricate carvings has captivated both archaeologists and paranormal researchers. The Hypogeum, to around 4,000 to 2,500 BC, is the world's only known prehistoric underground temple. Constructed during the Saflini phase of Maltese.
I want to point this out. If you go back to the beginning and listen to the other structures they talk about, and if you just really just start researching these underground cities and these cave cities, what you will always find them to say that there was a temple in those cities. Point that out because we're in an era now where people do not want to believe in God. They do not want to believe in the Most High. They want to believe in their selves, in knowledge, in science, like there is nothing more to this earth or to this universe. But as far back as you can go, society has always believed in a God or gods. They have always believed in a supreme power. So for us to say now that there is not we're missing it. So I just wanted to point that out.
Prehistory. This complex is a multi-level structure extending approximately 11 meters below the Earth's surface. Believed to have been used as a sanctuary for burial individuals discovered during initial excavations. The layout of the Hypogeum consists of 3 levels. The upper level, the old complex, is later extended artificially. The middle level dates back to the Temple phase, between 3600 and 3000, and features intricately carved bays resembling megalithic temples, such as those found above ground in Malta. The most enigmatic is the lower level, where the Holy of Holies, an intricately carved chamber, and the main room are found. The main room contains a unique feature, an oracle hole. When spoken into, this small round opening amplifies sound dramatically, suggesting it may have been used for ritualistic purposes.
I'm not going to tell you again.
Carved entirely by hand, using antlers and stone tools, the Hypogeum's walls and ceilings mimic the trilithon entrances and spiraling designs of above-ground temples. This intricate architecture indicated understanding of acoustics, as certain chambers channel sound in a way that still mystifies scientists today. Fascination. Its finely tuned acoustics allow a whisper from this room to be heard throughout the entire complex, leading to speculations of chanting, or as a way to speak with the gods. Among the unique archaeological findings are artifacts like the Sleeping Lady, a clay figurine signifying either a fertility goddess or a depiction of death, and a collection of elongated skulls. While some argue these result from binding.
All right. Elongated skulls. Now, I want to do a whole study. Y'all excuse Pluto cutting up. I want to study on these elongated skulls. I do not believe, and that's just my own belief, that they are fully human. I don't believe that the binding did this, and there's different reasons why when you really start to study these skulls. That these are not, their DNA structure is not ours. So I really want to do a show on these skulls. But it's something to those skulls, guys. It really is. This is almost up and then discuss the rest of the about the underground city
practices. Others speculate about the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial beings or a genetically unique population. Adding to the mysterious history of the Hypogeum is the chilling piece of folklore from 1940, when a group of schoolchildren and their teacher are said to have vanished within its confines during a tour. Despite thorough searches, no trace was ever found, fueling supernatural theories and rumors of hidden passages leading to the underworld. Today, the Hypogeum faces challenges from environmental conditions and human impact. Preservation efforts limit the number of visitors, making it one of the world's most exclusive archaeological sites. For those who visit, it offers an unparalleled journey into a world that has withstood the test of time, providing a tangible link to a civilization that still puzzles historians. The underground city of Naur. Hidden deep beneath the French countryside, the underground city of Naur dates back to the 3rd century AD. Initially, these caves served as chalk extraction. Over time, as regional conflicts escalated, particularly during the Middle Ages, the locals transformed these quarries into a hidden refuge. The labyrinth expanded to a sprawling complex of more than 3 kilometers, with nearly 300 chambers, 28 galleries, and corridors that could shelter over 3,000 people.
Look at that, 3,000 people.
And parts of the city offered locals a convenient place to store goods, hiding place from raiders and itinerant armies looking for supplies to steal. It had spaces for livestock, 3 chapels, and a bakery with ovens, among other amenities.
I heard that, 3 chapels. Every time there is either temples or chapels or somewhere for them to worship.
The chimneys of these ovens and any other underground fires were carefully channeled through existing surface structures to conceal the existence of daily life taking place 22 meters underground. Throughout history, these passages served multiple purposes. Evidence suggests that during the 9th and 10th centuries, Viking invaders found refuge within these walls. It was during the tumultuous 30 Years' War in the 17th century that the underground city reached its peak occupancy. As Europe was engulfed in conflict, thousands sought sanctuary in the depths of Naur, transforming it into a fortress of hope amidst chaos. As Western Europe began to stabilize, the necessity of these underground sanctuaries waned. With time, the memory of Naur's hidden city faded, until its reading in 1887 reignited interest in its mysterious past and sparked ideas for potential reuse. Throughout the 20th century, the network once again served as an important strategic shelter. In World War I, it transformed into an unusual tourist attraction for soldiers, with many of their inscriptions on the walls still visible today. And during
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna stop it right there because it's talking about Naur. And it's so of these underground cities and caves to talk about and to discover, it is ridiculous. You know, when we grew up, we were taught of the pyramids was the greatest structures ever built on Earth. It was the epic center of ancient building. No one ever taught us, at least didn't teach me, about all the other structures around the world, at pyramid and these underground cave cities, we weren't taught about them, so we don't really know a lot about them. But thanks to modern technology, now we can start discovering these things and teaching these things to our children. And the importance of teaching this to them is two things. Number one, we're not as smart as we think we are. So you always can constantly learn. Okay. Because if they did that back then and we can't do it now, obviously they knew something that we didn't. So we're not as smart as we think we are. So we always need. Number two, it shows you a different intelligence. It shows you that our world is vast. Have been a lot of things that have happened throughout history that we do not know about. So these things are important. And one of the main things for me is the fact that I don't care how far back you go in time, uh, there was a belief in God. There was a belief in the Most High. There was a belief in, if you want to call him Allah, there was a belief in Jehovah. There was a belief in God. You know, throughout the throughout history. So for nowadays, for so many people um to back off and say that they don't believe in God, that the Bible's a fable book, it's a fantasy, that always puzzles me. Who do you think you are nowadays that you know so much that you can say that these people were dumb or stupid and didn't know what you know? So believing in God, it was dumb and they didn't know no better. Who are you to say that? I a city like this. You can't do it. So they obviously knew something more than we do. Is basically what I'm saying. So it just kills me. And I just 7,000, an old debate that he had with Black Lion. And what got me was about Black Lion, he wanted to totally dismiss the Bible and said, and was trying to say, and this is what you'll find a lot of YouTubers do. This is why I'm doing the show tonight at 7 p.m. about Bible. Uh, is it okay to have relations with children? Because YouTubers have brought that up, that it's okay because the Bible doesn't say that you can't have relations with children, which is ridiculous. We know. But I want to really do go in on that. But they're always trying to blame the Bible for the ills of the world, or trying to blame God for the ills of the world. And we all, the ills of the world is because we as men, we are disobedient. We are disobedient not only to the laws of God, disobedient to the laws of nature. Okay, we're totally disobedient, and this is why we suffer. One thing he said, if the Bible is so good, if your God is so great, why are ourselves? And if we followed the laws of God, and if we understood and be in the condition that we're in, we lack the fortitude to get out there and do what we're supposed to do as a people. We to um, to make our people get up and unite and grow and build. That's our fault. That is our fault. So God has given us the ability to do. God don't just come down and do things for you. That's not who he is. Now he will come and save you, because after a while he said, okay, hey, my kids, they just not getting it. They suffering. Let me save them. And he will throw us a rope or a ladder sometimes. But he gave us free will, and he gave us little choices that we make are the reason why we're in the condition that we're in. Okay. And that's what the Bible teaches us. That's what the word says. When I hear people like Black Lion talk about why God didn't do this and why God, well, why didn't you do it? Is my question. And then for those people who totally say, well, I don't believe in God, I go on knowledge, and problems with that. And I wanted to, I thought that it was a live show, and JJ was like, no, this was recording. But one thing I wanted to say to him or ask him was this. Number one, okay. Do you only believe in knowledge and science? Do you believe knowledge and science saved us from slavery? Number one. Okay. And number two, do you believe today by only knowledge and science, about faith and belief? And the reason why is because you have to have both. You have to have knowledge. The Bible tells us that we die of lack of knowledge. So we have to have knowledge. We need that. Science helps us to grow science in the way it works. Science helps us to understand our bodies and healing. That's great. But that faith and that hope that gives us how to be and how to be morally right and morally correct. That's what that does. So, I'm always puzzled when I hear these guys that say, hey, we just gonna go by science. I want to follow science and knowledge. Okay, fine. What happens to faith? Because I tell you what, when I used to do volunteer chaplaincy work in a hospital years ago, and it always got to me. Anytime death, really sick, the first thing they did was call on God, or the doctor would ask them, do you have enough faith to believe that you're going to make it? Do you have enough hope? Do you have enough in you to pull through this? And if they say, yeah, work at it. Or a doctor will come back and say, well, they just done gave up. Well, when you just give up, that means you lost hope. You lost all belief. You lost all faith. Okay. That faith and belief gives you that extra, to push on. So it's a lot to faith, as well as, just science and knowledge. We need it all. So anyways, not to get off topic, and cities, I wanted to show this, guys, because it's important that we know that we just don't know it all. My daughter is an archaeology major. That's what she graduated with, and we talk about all of the different structures and things of the world, and what they mean, and to us even today, and how our society today is that were found in, of course, the ancient societies. But we need to know these things, and we need to understand that this is a vast world. And we have to quit thinking that we are the know all be all of it, because we are not. We are not. We are simple beings on a journey, trying to learn, trying to become what God wants us to be. We're not there yet. Now, no one on this earth is there. We're trying to become that through this journey. So it's important that we in our history and understand that there has been more than just this. There has been a lot. Yeah, I found a lot of doctors that will say that, especially when on their deathbed, because what they have found out is that faith and that hope, people's strength to continue to push. And when you are on your deathbed, and I've been there before, trust me, when your physical body has totally given out on you, you only have your mind to push that somehow, some way, God is going to heal you, or somehow, some way, you're going to make it out of this. So you'll be surprised how many doctors and nurses will talk to patients about that, because they know they have to have that extra push. And that's why they have chaplains in hospitals. They don't just have chaplains in hospitals because you're about to die and to give you your rights to leave. They have chaplains in hospital because they want that chaplain to go up there to that patient, talk with that patient, and you'll be surprised how many people that will say they haven't been to church, they don't believe in God or whatever, that in the end, they find that faith. They'll find it quick, because the spirit man is different than this fleshly man. And when that spirit man open up and reveals things, it'll reveal things to you that flesh man hasn't. And a lot of times that comes when you bed, when you're at that end. Like even when a woman have a baby, most women, they have a baby. When that first thing you say is, "Oh God, help me." You say, "Help me, Lord," because it's a pain that you have never experienced before. And it's a pain that's almost unbearable. So it's something. But God will reveal himself to you. He will reveal himself. Now it's up to you to choose if you want to accept him or not. And that's what we call believers. I tell people all the time, I don't try to make nobody believe. All of that with you. Either you believe or you don't. That's on you. Okay? Is give you truth and of my truth. And then we take it from there. But it's up to you. It's really up to you. But like I said, I find that when people, it's just like 9/11. 9/11 hit, the churches were overflowing with people. Overflowing with people, because people thought, hey, this is in. So they found their faith. See, when you got nothing else, you'll find God. And sometimes God has to take us there. Sometimes, I'm not getting off script, but sometimes God has to take us there, guys. He has to allow us or lose everything. So he can show I'm God. And he will do that. He will take you down to your bare nothing. Okay. And then she'll come and then pull you up by showing you I'm God. And he does that. Even tell you something in life that I know, that if it wasn't for him and his divine intervention, that I wouldn't be here. Okay. I've had them tell me, hey, you shouldn't be here. I don't know how you walking around right now. You are a medical miracle. See, that's God. So, yeah, you'll be. A lot of doctors not gonna come out and publicize it, things, but you'll be surprised how many of them will, especially in those times when they see the patient is really, hey, make it through this. I'll ask you. Even when I was really, really sick, I've had nurses come and pray with me. So that it trust me, and when you need that, you need it. He sure will. He'll drag you smooth around the block, up the street, down the hill. He will drag you. And some of these YouTubers that are blaspheming his name, he hasn't finished with them. Well, you judge yourself. The words that come out of your mouth, I said that you're judging yourself. You're condemning yourself with your own tongue. And for those who taking his words and misrepresenting his I would be scared to death. That is such a danger. I would be scared to death. I don't play with God. I play with a lot of things, but God is not one of them. And so that's why tonight I want to do this show. I'm going to show a clip from YouTubers. I ain't going to mention names because I'm not in the beef sector. I'm not going to beef with you. I don't even need to. That's why I do debates, because I don't beef with people. And I'm not going to argue with you over something as simple knowledge, because I understand that everybody doesn't have common sense and everybody just not going to get it. Okay. Everybody don't have discernment. Knowledge does not necessarily mean you got wisdom. Okay. So I don't, that's why I don't debate with people. But I am going to rebuttal this sector because I think it's so dangerous. We got too much pedophilia going on in the world today, period. And for someone to the Bible does not say anything against having relations with children, so it's not a sin. Dangerous. That is so dangerous. And so I want to address that. So I'm going to address that tonight at 7 p.m. So y'all please come back and join me to and share. Let people know I don't have a big channel. Like I just really started this channel and I haven't put a lot into it, but I'm going to really try to work on it more. But I'll be here tonight at 7 and share and come on in me so we can have this big discussion. I want to bring some people on the panel. If we get some people that can come in, we as believers allowing these people to talk like this without checking them. We have to check them. And a lot of times I find they will have people on their panels that don't necessarily know the word. So they can't really check them on what they're saying, but they totally have understanding of what God is saying. And let me say this about the Bible. The Bible is a tool for us to live better. The Bible was created for man. It's not created for God. A book of directions. It's a book of stories. And in these stories and things that happen, these stories are to help. So in these stories, they will tell you about what happened to someone when they did this or when they did that, to show you that there are consequences to your actions. There are consequences. When we read the Bible, we have to read the Bible and ask God to give us the wisdom to understand and to discern what is being said, because we have to remember that there are different time periods, different cultures. So we have to put all when we're reading the Bible. And a lot of times people don't like to do that. And that's where they get mixed up. And they lose understanding of what he is saying. But if we followed the basic fundamentals of the word, our lives would be better. It's really simple. It's not complicated. And you can be a believer of God and be a scientist. You can be a believer and seek all the knowledge you want. The Bible tells you to seek knowledge. It doesn't just say seek knowledge in the Bible. So I want to touch on that tonight. But in the morning times, guys, I'll be coming most mornings around this time, just kind of giving you guys some information and things I went across or found interesting. And these caves in unknown cities are one of them. I find them so exciting that I've been really, really watching them. I'm going to do a couple of more. Petra is one of the good ones. Write down from Petra. I can't think of the name of it now, but if you look up Petra, there's another cave city down from it that is big. What's that other city down from Petra, baby? Huh? I can't hear you. Laura Caves. That's it. My daughter, I told y'all, she's the archaeologist. Laura Caves are beautiful. So look up Petra and look up Laura Caves and just start watching it and seeing the majesty of our ancient world. So we can have an understanding that we don't know everything, guys. And everybody getting on this YouTube thinking that they master scientists and master. Just look, your mathematics is limited. Okay, let's just be real. Your mathematics is limited because you can't do what they back then. So that means that we don't know it all. So we need to quit trying to act like we do. All right, guys. Well, thank you, lovely lady, for joining me this morning. I want to give you a wrench. I got to figure out how to do that. I don't really know this whole YouTube thing yet. I haven't seen y'all, son. It's so good to see you, y'all, son. So like I said, guys, I'll be coming back and forth, be dropping different information and things. Yesterday, I dropped information on. Go back and look at that video. It was just a recorded video. I did it on some homeless families in Iran. There's so much going on over there right now. There's so many displaced families that they're having to live in caves, live in tents. And these women are over there. And in that, it always surprised me because these women are alone. And I'm like, okay, where are all these men? They're women and children. Where are their men? Where are their husbands? Where are their brothers? And it's really, that situation is really bad over there. Then we have, I showed a clip of Sierra where we having our brothers, they've got a new drug called Kush. And this new drug called Kush is making zombies out of our young men. And it's so rapid. And in this Kush, okay, thank you. In this Kush, child, the Kush is made of bones. So they're robbed graves and grind easy. We got so much going on in our world today. We ain't got time to be fighting over little petty stuff. If I'm Black, Indian, was it slavery, was it not? Look, you better get your head out of the dirt, as my granddaddy would say, and really see what's going on. It's crazy. So each morning I'll just kind of leave, come in and do a little bit on what I saw, what I watched as far as news, just to see if you guys are aware of what's going on and what's happening, because right now it's crazy. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the like button. Ask your friends to subscribe. As we grow, we'll be able to get into much deeper conversations, and I'll be able to bring people on the panel. So we can share knowledge with one another. Guys, I love you, but God loves you best. I will see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. if you're available. Tonight at 7 p.m.
p.m. Bye, lovely lady. Bye, your son. Peace out.